I
mean, I guess we're still muted.
Yeah.
Get your Island Boy jokes in now.
All right.
What are
I think
the Island
we're
Boys?
back in now.
Yes, we are on.
Oh, nice.
Get your island jokes
could you
now.
repeat
First
the
thing I heard
question?
myself say was, get your Island Boy jokes out now.
I heard that as well. How to kick flip
All right,
a
I'm going to
horse.
mute and double check.
Sounds good.
I don't know how to work this fucking thing on a tablet.
The
These heads are in the
coffee
way.
stains or whatever on this map, I can see a Pikachu and a middle finger.
Okay,
Love it.
cool. So the drugs are kicking in.
Nice. How do I get rid of our heads?
Go to
Masculinous.
your settings, go to audio and video, and go to video display, and then players video regular names only.
Thank you.
We're all pretty quiet on stream.
Thank you. Okay.
Paul is closest to reasonable volume.
That's never been the case. I've never been close to reasonable.
What? I've cranked everybody up pretty high.
All right, let me double check. Let's go down the line and hit me with the check.
Check.
That was a check from Jesso. This is a check from me.
And this is me talking at a reasonable volume level.
Volume level.
Yeah, still pretty quiet. My computer volume and my headphone volume are... Well, my computer volume is at max, and my headphone volume is almost all the way up. And we're still, like, audible. But if someone was tuning in with their headphones not turned all the way up, they'd be like, where the fuck is the sound?
I'm honestly not sure what to do. I've got everybody cranked.
Interesting.
I'm not the kind of AV type to worry about these things, but it's also like, well, for our one listener, they'll figure it out.
I hear you. Alright, I'm gonna crank up them decibels for them. This is for you, Jerry.
Jerry, we love you.
Alright, I think that's as high as I can get it.
Did you turn it up in Discord?
Discord.
Yeah, so you're out. You have an output in
Oh,
Discord.
fuck, yeah, I guess I can turn everybody up in Discord.
You could turn on your main output as well in audio and video settings. Welcome to audio wizardry on the internet.
Alright, now everybody's louder in Discord. Yay.
Everybody's
louder.
louder in Discord.
Everybody should be louder.
You sound louder to me. That's all
Oh, yeah?
that really matters. Oh, you're really
Much,
loud. I gotta
much,
turn you
much
down.
louder.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I moved my mic a little closer.
That's all right. I can turn you down.
Turn me up.
And Ivan seems to be muted and deafened, which, there we go. Now he's back.
Most
Welcome back,
definitely.
Ivan.
Hey, how's it going? Jesse's still pretty quiet.
Always.
Even when we're like, whoa, you're really loud.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah? I mean, we might just have to fucking deal with it. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I turned you down, so you can be louder, and we can turn
I can
your
be
volume
louder.
down.
I can just fucking yell all the time.
Oh,
You
no, I turned
you
down.
start off loud and then you fade to like a whisper. It's weird.
Yeah?
It sounds like you're like inside of a tree.
Maybe I'm just turning my head away from the microphone or something.
Well, when I listen to you on Discord, you're a completely good volume, but on the stream, you sound like you're behind a pillow.
Hate streams.
Yeah.
And also, from listening to Chocolate Rain, you should know that you should lean away from the mic when you breathe in and talk to the mic when you're actually talking.
Some stay dry while others feel the pain.
I know you know all these lyrics.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to How to Kickflip a Horse.
Where a baby born will die before the sin.
Tonight, we're doing an episode on Chocolate Rain.
That's right.
The schoolbooks say it can't be here again.
That is correct. That is what they say.
The chocolate rain year.
The chocolate rain can't be here again.
This guy's doing his own remixes now.
That's right. Remix. All right, cool. Are we ready to rock and roll? Do we have we got Jesso as close as we're gonna get. Nobody's really listening anyway, so let's have fun. Let's have fun. For those of you listening on YouTube, this is How to Kickflip a Horse. We are a mostly weekly adventure stream podcast that plays tabletop games. We focus on the rule of cool and really focus on narrative storytelling in a group as opposed to being a bunch of rule nerds. We have been playing Burn Bright, which if you haven't checked out, really, really fun game. But since we are missing Tommy, we are going to do a Burn Bright adjacent kind of game. The game is called The Quiet Year. And for those of you that don't know, The Quiet Year is a really, really fantastic game. It is, let's see, who did this? Do you have the name of the person whose game this is? I have all their other...
Oh, it's Avery something.
So I've got all the people that did the artwork and stuff, but...
I'll find out in just a second. Keep going with your intro, though.
But yeah, so it's a really fantastic game. It's basically about the last year.
Avery Alder. Avery Alder.
Avery Alder. It is basically a game about the final year of a community. Some sort of terrible catastrophe is coming. You have 4 different seasons to create kind of what's going to be happening to this world. It's a very awesome narrative storytelling game that just is a lot of fun. You will see the rules as we go. Basically, we will be making stuff up, but since we wanted to kind of keep in the theme of Burn Bright, we decided that we're going to do this with a community that was on the edge of the burn. Maybe the burn has been around for, a little while. We can kind of decide in game how long the burn's been, but we know, or we strongly believe, that by the end of the year, the burn will take over and destroy this planet. So we have a year of preparations and a year of making this happen. So there's 4 seasons, and at the end of the 4 seasons, the Shepherds of the Winter, as they call it, will arrive, and that's how it ends. And so I'll read this straight from the opening story. For a long time, we were... Well, this is... Never mind. This is kind of doesn't relate to Burn Bright, but I'll read the opening story for the actual game, and it says, "For a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now, finally, we've driven them off, and we're left with this. A year of I can't see because there's of relative peace, one quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end, but we don't know about that yet. What we know is that right now, in this moment, there's an opportunity to build something." So, similar to that, the burn has approached and nobody knows where it is. We have a year before that. Some of our scientists say that the burn will hit our planet, and we have a year to build. After that year, the burn will hit us. We don't know what that will mean, but we have a year, an opportunity to build something. So, yeah. Anything else to add, Ivan? Do you think I covered that pretty decently?
You nailed it, dude. I did have a thought on how to sort of dispassionately draw us a world map.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to use the virtual dice, which I don't think I actually have turned on. Let me see if I can do that real quick while I'm talking. To sort of roll it and then draw like around it. Have you ever seen that technique of
Yeah,
map
I've
making?
seen that. I have seen that.
Here we go. Dice options. Enable 3D dice. And
Then you
now,
roll a bunch of d6s.
yeah, I'm
and,
going to just roll like 5d6s and see where they land.
Yep.
All right.
I did not see.
Then I'm going to
anything.
do, just do
Yeah,
a
they're not
little-
visible on our screen.
You've got to
you-
turn them on.
You probably have to turn it on your end.
So you go
Okay.
to settings, go to dice options, and yeah.
So there's our first continent.
Okay. That is a guy about to
Sexy.
slam a basketball or a monkey.
It does look like a gorilla about to go for a hoop.
Slam dunk. Yeah.
So I'm going to just set up a couple of things. You guys let me know it's okay. Since we are in kind of a world that's somewhat been pre-established, there are some things that we kind of already have set up. But for the purpose of this game, while there are like the guilds and everything like that, we can pretty much say that because a planet, once it gets so close to the burn, it kind of gets abandoned, and there may be, contacts from other, other planets, other places,
Sure.
other guilds, but for the most part, we've kind of been cut off and somewhat isolated at this point. If we
Sure.
do decide that we want to kind of get in touch with them as part of the game mechanics, we can do that. I'm going to send you guys a link to the different guilds and stuff like that. If we decide that we kind of, want one of these security guilds or something like that to kind of,
Well, sure. I feel like it stands to reason if it's predicted that there's only that the burn will strike this planet within a year. That the only people here are the people that can't leave. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Which I think kind of fits the initial setting of the base game too.
well, we could kind of we could decide that also that people that can't leave or there's not resources
and we
yet
can-
to leave,
yeah,
or people that might not
like,
believe in the burn. That's
Sure, we can. People that might not believe in the clearly visible, ever encroaching wall of flame.
yeah, you never know.
That's just God
Never
coming to
did,
bless us.
That shit
Again.
is the Holy
That's what those
Spirit.
daylight maniacs think.
Oh
Man.
my gosh. And also, I just saw that Roll20 is really, really pushing the Fallout role-playing game, and
Oh,
I'm
cool.
super excited. But let's get back to it.
It's like the 2d20 system, right?
I don't know yet.
I think it's
How-
the same as like the Alien one that just
That
came
sounds
out.
dope as fuck.
But because I think you have a little bit more experience with this particular game, Ivan, if you
Sure.
want to kind of guide us in the directions, because I've only played this once before, so if you want to kind of take over and get us rolling, that would be fantastic as I look for some stuff.
Yeah, let me just double check, make sure I'm aware of what we're going on here. Let's see. Basic unit of play in the Quiet Year is the week. Each week is a turn taken by one player, with play proceeding clockwise around the table. That obviously doesn't apply here. Let's just go in order of our names on the Discord there.
Mm-hmm.
During each week, the following things happen. The active player draws a card, reads the relevant text aloud, and resolves it. They follow all bold text. Project dice are reduced by 1, and any finished projects are updated. The active player chooses and takes an action, which is either discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. So I feel like we'll be able to pick this up pretty easy as we go. 52 cards, 52 weeks. The end of the game can occur anytime during the winter season. Most cards have 2 options to choose from, separated by an or divider. Pick the option that you find the most interesting and fitting. So I think that's an important part of this game, is that we're supposed to be supposed to be simultaneously invested in the occurrences within this little community that we're about to create, but we also have to introduce difficulties dispassionately. Like we can't we can't in effect stack the deck for our little guys. And I feel like if memory serves, a lot of these cards are sort of rock and hard place type situations. So, but yeah, I think this will be. I think it will pretty well explain itself as we go. I do think that we should do a couple more continents here.
Okay. Well, we can decide later. This is just because part of this game is. Yeah, we're doing Burn Bright themed, kind of. This is like a planet on the outskirts. So also, you know what? Oh, that link I sent you. Are you able to see it?
Let me try.
Yes.
Okay, because you can follow that.
Oh, you mean see the? Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
I got it. The compendium. Yep.
Yeah, the compendium. I figure we can go to that if we're like looking to get into like, you know, when we're talking about species and things like that.
For sure.
Since we're going to talk about like which species is on this planet and, you know, how these things. So.
I believe we can establish that as we play. Let's see. This. We have to choose the starting resources. So we should go around and we all will make a case for the primary like features of this area, like forest, like the terrain and habitat, or whatever. And then we introduce a detail about that. So I think we should. What do you think about just skipping that and drawing some continents, since this is meant to be on like a sort of planetary
Yeah, it says before the game begins, we must establish some facts about our community and what its surroundings are like. We begin with a brief discussion, taking 2 minutes of most, of the general terrain and habitat of the area. This can be as simple as someone saying, "How about a community in a rocky desert?" and everyone else nodding in agreement. At this point, each of us should introduce one detail about the local terrain. When we introduce our detail, then we sketch contributions onto the map. Okay, I've got an idea. If I can kick the thing off.
Sure.
So I think what Ivan was saying before is like most of the people have left the planet, or those who are rich enough that can do it, and I feel like there are just abandoned cities like that are just in disrepair, that are kind of all falling apart. So there is, because of the fact that people did leave, these cities have kind of been just forgotten about and are actually really unhealthy places to go now, because all of the technology and plasma and stuff that was needed to be maintained has kind of caused, the areas around main cities to kind of become poisoned by plasma and things of that nature, and going to these cities are kind of a very difficult thing to do. So, what do you guys think about that?
I like it.
I like it. It's like you can also it's a loot from there at your own risk type of thing.
Exactly. So I'm going to just go ahead and just draw my one city here, and
I traced what I thought was my kind of middle finger on the coffee stains on this map that I saw earlier. So
the eyes on this guy.
The Pikachu is over here. It's by the basketball.
Uh-huh.
So someone pick the. Let's continue going. Let's talk about the next thing that's on here.
Next in the order would be Jesse.
So initially I was thinking about things at this city, like how we're doing this Burn Bright themed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Loosely, yeah. We don't have to be specifically, it doesn't have to be accurate, If you want to make some stuff up about the Burn Bright world, we're not going to make it canon, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, is this really in Burn Bright?
Right.
We're not taking it that seriously.
See, my initial thought was to add some sort of like with the gas that's in the city, I was thinking maybe there's some sort of valuable resource that comes of it, and therefore it's like heavily contested by multiple people. But
Plasma's definitely a very coveted resource.
right, so
It's
maybe
basically
there's
like
some
energy.
factions in there, like also fighting over it.
Oh, so there's some factions that got it. So
Is that
do you
sort
want
of
to say
out of
there's
the realm of what it's asking for?
Yeah, I think this is asking for a little bit more like
Like a geographical
general,
physical
geographical
stuff? But hold on to that because that could come in handy later.
Yeah, for sure.
That could be fun. Or we could do the same thing with a different resource. Like there could be like a single or there could be like running water but decently far away. It's contested.
So if you open up Chapter 2 Survey on the right and you go to Sketching the Terrain, it gives you a breakdown of what's going on with what we're doing. So
Right. I mean, I remember it from the last time we did it. I was trying to like come up with something on the fly when my mind was just thinking about like these military things.
I mean, you could be mountain ranges, it could be forests, it could be like, anything. Yes, Paul.
So I was just gonna say, just to contribute, of like, as an island, you would typically have something like a mountain range that went kind of like that of like separating the coasts, or a circle in the middle that kind of the water's got to go
Sure, island
somewhere. So
geography.
Yeah, which one? It's up to you.
I think that we should. Shit. How do I delete this thing?
You click on it with your arrow, and then you just hit delete on your.
I think we should do more of a islands are in the middle of the island, and this way we can possibly have some coastal trade routes, conflict, etc.
This part said to take 2 minutes at most, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. There's mountains. Draw some mountains down that pink line.
Mountains. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. I'm gonna drop a couple more. I'm gonna just freehand them over here. A couple more little island areas, just for somewhere else to go. Seems like we're in sort of a large archipelago.
Okay, I'm gonna make some random weird, like holes in the ground.
Just pits.
Yeah, they're like, who knows, man.
Okay, cool. Then we do resources.
What kind of resources do we have?
We each declare an important resource for the community, something which we might have in either abundance or scarcity. Choosing a resource makes it important if it wasn't already. If you pick gasoline, it becomes something that your community wants and needs. As a group, we then choose one of those resources to be in abundance. It gets listed on an index card under abundances, and whoever called it now draws an abundance of this resource on the map. The other resources get listed as scarcities, and the players who called them draw their absence or scarcity on the map somehow.
Excellent.
Remember
so the first
that symbols and symbolic representations are fine, but words should be avoided.
Okay, so we'll start off with just listing resources, and then we decide if we have a lot or little of them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Only
cool.
one of them, though, we will have a lot of.
Okay, so plasma is definitely one of the things.
I will write this down.
Got it, and I will.
Plasma. Ari. All right.
Clean water.
Clean water, Paul. Jesse?
Abundant.
Well, not abundance, just.
Oh, no.
Anything.
Right,
Resources.
Yeah. Oxygen.
All right, and I will choose Whale testicles. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I
um,
kind of like it though. Why do we need those? I love it.
naturally forming geological bongs. Um,
It's kind
no,
of what the craters are. That might be what
let's
the craters
see.
are.
Let's call it. What if you can find like there's an ore of some sort under the surface of the planet that
Ooh.
that rapidly changes state from solid to gas. We'll call it
Unobtainium.
Can't get it in.
I like fartonium. Alright, so which of these should we have in abundance? I think oxygen makes the most sense, but the
Yeah, could also-
idea of the fartonium encroaching on the clean air is an interesting idea.
And also the pollution from the cities, the plasma as well, could also
Sure.
make it.
Plasma
So that-
gas.
So that would mean like water and oxygen are pretty limited. So then plasma or fartonium would be the abundance. Yes.
Sure.
What do you all think?
Into it.
You
got plenty
I
of
would say
parts,
Yeah, I think the fartonium makes the most sense to have the abundance of. I love
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
we're
that's what
gonna
I'm into.
we're gonna be saying fartonium with a straight face for the next hour and a half.
Well, because there's plenty of plasma, but like we said, it's difficult to get to.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like plasma is something that comes from like off planet. Like maybe it was just stored here as like power for the city to run off of.
Yeah.
But as society has thinned out, so has
And to throw in some a little bit of Burn Bright lore to kind of ice or sprinkle a little bit of it on. So plasma was what was super duper abundant all over the universe before the MI was invented. That was like their main form of transportation, and they used it to not only run their ships, but they used it to run cities. And once MIs came about, the magical intelligent, they no longer used it for interplanetary travel, and it became more of like a ground-based resource. So that's just a
Sure.
but they mine it from different planets.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking drawing the fartonium in any color besides green.
Yeah, I agree.
That's you didn't have much choice there.
These represent rich veins of fartonium below the surface of the planet.
There's got to be some
Could they
going
do the
into the
Fartonians?
sea.
Okay.
Sure.
Could the fartonium maybe leak out of these crevices?
Oh, the mountains, you mean?
No, I wasn't talking about the mountains.
Oh gosh, stupid me. Sorry.
Rude. Just kidding. Damn, that is an abundant amount of fartonium.
It's an abundance, dude. And it stinks.
Mm-hmm. And it stinks.
All right,
Yeah.
so the fartonium is the abundance. Let's see. Other sources get listed as scarcities. We've kind of already done that.
Right, so water, Paul, what do you want to do with water?
Is it oxygen?
Yeah,
So
just draw
do you-
something that. Yeah,
Wait a minute,
plasma,
wait,
clean water, and oxygen will all be considered scarcities.
Okay.
I'm drawing the plasmas,
So
which now
limited time outside without spacesuit.
I'm drawing the water, and it is
Fartonium.
limited.
Sorry.
I mean it can be limited in like a completely like difficult to process kind of way, or it can be like there's not a lot of it. It can
Okay,
be
so it naturally runs off the mountains in pools in 2 lakes on each side of the mountains, and there are limited processing plants that can deal with it outside of the mountain ranges.
okay.
Nice. I like the plasma drawing, the atom guys. What
Yeah.
is it called? Electrons? Is that what those are?
Yeah.
Yep, balances.
There's also a skull face in there.
Valences.
There's also a skull face in there if you zoom in really close.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, no shit. This guy drawing.
Okay, I will just leave that plasma like that for now.
Great. So that's our starting resources. We'll get there. Let's see. The week we went over that. Working on projects. Okay, so when you start a project and then you decide how long it'll take, how many weeks. Whoever started the project gets to tell everyone how it turns out when it's complete, and updates the map to reflect its completion.
Got it.
Let's see. So yeah, basically we're gonna just let's see what the cards give us. I think we'll be able to figure it out from here now that we've got our map going.
Have we picked where we live? Are we in the city?
Oh, that's a good
That's a good question, Jinx.
Hey, that explains the world.
Maybe the main community is sort of like on the outskirts between the city and this northern lake, or the eastern lake, I guess. Would you call that the northern or the eastern lake? It's both.
The northeastern lake.
There you go. So like maybe right in that little sweet spot.
Where is it? Draw the
About here. Sir.
I
We
would
only
say
have two
a little
cardinal
bit.
directions in this world. There's the neat,
Yeah, this is a 2D world.
and the cest.
Assessed. I would probably say maybe like let's see, maybe like right here, since it's a little bit farther away from the city, and we still
Sure.
have kind of access.
I don't see where you're drawing.
Sorry,
It's the tiny green circle.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Can I draw on it?
Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Don't you fucking dare.
Don't you dare. Oh,
Not the fucking gosh, that's a lot of Fartonium, man.
It's an abundance, dude.
Yep.
All right, so let's see who starts here.
Technically,
Start a project. Should I just draw a card?
yeah, I think you draw a card right to start.
All right, we're starting in spring. I'm going to just click on that and see what I get. I got the 9 of hearts. Oops, and then I clicked off it. No, here it is. A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or, a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond?
man.
Interesting.
Everybody's into it.
So now you can, what do? Start a project. So it says start a project. So either start a project or not.
Yeah. I think I will start a project, and the elaborate scheme is gonna be the girl believes that if they can find a way, like if they can find the mother lode of Fartonium, that they can convince an off-planet interest, maybe one of the guilds, the Cosmo Guild, which controls transport, perhaps, would then find it in their interest to come and scoop up these resources and the remaining people of this planet.
Okay. So that's awesome.
Is 6 the highest we can do? Because I feel like it should be longer.
Let's see. Start a project.
Yeah, maximum
6 is
6.
maximum, yeah.
All
But
right, so we'll put it at a 6.
but again, like sometimes projects can be multiple parts. Like the first part is like go and like do recon to find the best place, you
All
know,
right.
or whatever.
That's
if
a
you
good-
feel like it
that's a
should be
good point.
longer.
Good point. All right, so yeah, let's. I'm gonna call it 6, and I'm gonna just come on. I'm gonna use the text tool, and I'm gonna make it pretty large. I'm gonna do a 6 right there, and then I'm gonna draw a little bulldozer thing to represent digging.
Cool.
Or no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna draw little binoculars to represent searching.
So that the first phase of the project, searching for.
Yeah, searching for the mother lode.
Is it searching for the mother lode, or is it searching for suckers who will believe that she found the mother lode?
I feel like she's. I feel like at least at this stage, she's genuine in
Okay.
her faith in this plan.
Has she said where the
Whoever
mother
she
lode
winds
is?
up being. She doesn't know. That's what they're looking
Right,
for.
Okay.
So now, technically, you can still. So
All right, so that's my
Okay.
card. And then do I just keep this? I guess. Drew a summer card. Is that me? Did I do that?
looks like it.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'll put it on my pile. No, I don't want to. I want to hide. There we go. Oh, I hid the whole deck.
Yay.
Yeah.
Unhide.
Summer's gone.
Unhide.
Remove.
We jump to spring.
So now to end your turn, you can do take it. You can take an action. You can discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. I don't know if because the action on it is start a project, if that counts, but it says when you draw a card, you do what's on it, and then you do this. So
Yeah, I think I get the whole the action thing too.
so you
I
get
wish
to do,
I could, not that we're gonna get to the summer deck, but I wish I could make it come back. Cool.
Well, it's gone for all of us, so
Yeah, I know. Come on, you fuck.
Control Z.
Well, let's move on. Why don't you work on it when it's somebody else's turn? That way we keep moving.
Fair, sorry.
Unless they
It's
wanna
okay.
draw- don't we all want to draw summer though?
are we in spring?
No, spring is where we
Spring,
start.
okay.
Excuse me. Oh, it's the summer one that got removed, right?
Yes.
So how would you like to end your turn, friend?
Let's find out. Let's hold a discussion to see about this this charismatic girl's plan. So each discussion should be tied. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'll just start at the top. Another action type is hold a discussion. You can choose to open with a question or a declaration. Starting with you and going clockwise, everyone gets to weigh in once, sharing a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. If you opened with a question, you get to weigh in last. If you opened with a declaration, that's it for you. So I guess the question I'll start with is, do we believe that this pursuit is worth it?
Can I ask a context question? Like, just
Outside of the
know how-
discussion?
yeah, like how long has life, like sophisticated space interacting life, existed on this planet?
Long time.
Yeah,
it feels
probably.
like
Probably a
Long
good
time.
long while.
Okay.
we've got
Okay.
cities. We've got that. Yeah, this has been.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
like an old, like wrecked, abandoned city, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
get the
But it's
sense
like
that
it's
a
like
little
it's like
post-apocalyptic here.
it's like newly abandoned.
Like I
Yeah,
feel like,
like
our home is like kind of new, like maybe a newer settlement.
But like our home, like the cities are abandoned because the burn was coming in. So like,
Yeah.
they okay. You're like, yeah, it's been long established that there's been. Okay, so
Gotcha. Okay,
who's
okay.
sorry?
So we're the remnants of an abandoned place, more like.
Yeah.
Who's going first in a response? Because I know what
It
I'm gonna say.
doesn't matter. Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, like, are you fucking crazy? No, like, like there's been people searching for the mother lode for, thousands of years. There is no mother lode. Like, mine to the core of the planet, there is no mother lode.
Okay.
Plutonium comes from our asses.
But could it not be beneficial anyway? Like, even if we don't necessarily find the mother lode, could this endeavor still benefit us?
I think that there are those of you who are still intent on leaving this planet, and there's some of us who believe that our fates are here, sealed now, and that this is just the way that things are. And if you want to spend the rest of your days looking for the mother lode, then I think you should be able to spend it in any way you wish and desire to do it. I personally will be exploring and taking note of different things around the planet. So if you do find the mother lode, I think it would be very interesting. But
2 sentences.
that's it. Sorry.
As the person weighing in last on this issue, I will say, even if we don't get rescued, we have to do something. We can't just stand around and wait to die. So I say, give the girl her search party.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Here, here.
Here.
Here, here.
All right.
The moon is with you.
So the project continues, and that is the end of our discussion.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And then I believe that will start. If we started with me, that'll put us on Paul. So click on the spring deck and read us your thing.
All right. Where does everyone sleep? Who isn't happy with this arrangement and why? Or what natural predators roam this area? Are you safe? Oh, okay. I don't know where we sleep in that little heart village.
Follow your heart.
I'm gonna go with we sleep. There's no way I can draw this though. It says make sure to draw your answers on the map. Like I'm gonna say that we all sleep in that tiny little hut.
You can take a corner of the map and draw it.
Like a zoom out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I copy this thing?
Or zoom in, rather.
Cannot.
Let's set you up a little area real quick. Got you. Hold on. Draw it like right in there.
Yeah. Okay. I just wish I could copy your hut. We all live in this hut, and it is very, very tight quarters. Why is everything pink?
Choose your color next to.
Yeah, I'm going back to do it.
Do you want me to draw the hut? Do you want the hut?
Got it.
I mean, if you're like freehanding this on a tablet, I'm not going to stop you from being better at drawing your own hut than I am. But
I'm just trying to help you out. I don't want to just take it away from you.
No, that's entirely fine with me, especially when I'm selecting rectangle instead of freehand. But like basically, my vision of this hut is that we are living in like 12-story high bunk beds.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Oh, that's fantastic! Like those car parks in New York.
Right. It's like grappling hooks to get up there.
Yeah.
You're belaying and shit.
Takes you 20 minutes
Awesome.
to get to bed.
Yeah, it is not a comfortable experience to get up to. Oh, Jesus, I cannot draw with my mouse.
Top.
So, who is unhappy with this?
Who's unhappy with this? I'm going to say that everyone that lives above the 3rd or 4th floor bunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd we stack them like this?
But the thing is, like, as it's grown, people have naturally tried to find like where to sleep better. Like because there's only so much room on the floor, right? So like the bottom bunks are kind of crowded. Like there's like 2, sometimes 3 people trying to sleep on the bottom bunk. Like,
Sure, like
you're
yeah,
willing
they're
to
like
go,
they're
the
like
more
wider.
privacy you get.
Interesting.
Nice.
But it's still, those are the people that are, per my declaration, they're the ones that are unhappy. There's also got to be something of, they have more of the possible noxious fumes that waft through from the environment
Do we
because
know
they're
that
up high.
they rise?
Gases.
I'm drawing it.
Not all gases
They do.
rise.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
But they can.
Yeah.
All gases get a rise out of me.
Hey!
Hey-o.
You leaving me gas here.
Especially that fartonium.
Plutonium Tony.
Plutonium.
I love the
Tell me
huts
about it.
full of very tall bunk beds.
Mhm.
This
That's
is
amazing.
They're like
very,
really
very funny.
like wobbly and
I think that the entire like upper area here is to kind of waft the fumes. Like it's kind of like a like the wind comes in this way, and
Sure,
like
like
it blows up through it to try and like clear the area out.
Sure.
So how do we pick who gets what beds? Like is it just free for all, or was there like?
Well, of course,
there
the
a war
wealthiest
fought over
get
this?
the nice, get the nicest beds.
The wealthiest left, I think, mostly, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yeah. So what's the rest of the caste society to decide?
Like, is it bullies and gangs that get like the bottom bunks?
or is it like
Oh.
arrangements?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like
Rotating shift.
rotating shifts. Yeah.
I'm sure
I
we
wanna-
can explore this in more depth
Yeah, we can
as
do
the
that.
game continues. Paul, you also get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. Maybe your project is deciding a more equitable way to distribute sleeping assignments.
I was going to hold a discussion on how we decide who gets the sleeping arrangements. That's like I want to just keep
Sounds
going
good.
on that one. Okay, so is this a? So what am I supposed to say? Like a question or a statement here? And my
So
my
if
statement.
you start with a question, you get to go again at the end, and the discussion will end with you. If you start with a statement, it will end on me.
Okay, so my question is: are these beds distributed in a fair manner?
I believe we should do a lottery system, and that people will draw their lot, and that's how we decide on who sleeps where.
So I also just want to point out my original statement, like when I designed this, like who's unhappy is the people that are sleeping on the top floor. So there definitely is some angst here.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like that's what we should do.
I like what your statement was. I'm just kind of reminding like
Got it.
my own drunk self.
Will there be acclamations for like handicapped people, or if your lot is drawn and you're on the top bunk and you're pregnant, you just have to deal with it?
Yeah, what about my disabled grandma? She can't climb 12 stories into the air onto some rickety bunk bed.
Yeah!
That's madness.
I can't do that!
Well, I guess
The
we
only
also have
time
to
I've
decide
been
what
heard this
species
stream.
there are too.
All right, Paul, you get the final declaration.
I mean, is there?
Old people to the top.
It doesn't have to be the right answer. No one's judging you. We're supposed
Yeah.
to be cold, unfeeling observers.
It is a pure lottery system.
All right.
Yeah.
But I also want to qualify that with it takes hours every night to draw the tokens to
It's an
decide.
every night lottery system. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh man!
Don't leave your stuff in the bunk, man. It's gone the next night.
Take your sheets. Bring your sheets with you.
Right.
You don't want to be out in the hallways for the great dumping of sheets in the morning.
How come we change beds every night, but we only do laundry once a week?
It's not in
We
abundance.
thought the
that's why.
photonium smelled bad.
All right.
All right, excellent. So that was our discussion. The beds are populated by lotteries. Amazing.
Yep.
Great society we're coming up with here.
They're
all right.
very equal in your treatment of everything so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. Is it my
All
turn?
right,
to
who's
draw?
That go
next?
there. Out of here. Next is Ari.
Nice.
All right, spring
Give that.
is
Why are you
click
like
to
this?
draw, drag to deal. So click to draw.
That's my card.
And
There you go.
someone new arrives who, or two of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provokes them? Okay. Someone new arrives who? I could go one or two ways with this. Okay. As the morning shift begins and the laundry begins falling, you could see in the distance a figure approaching. This figure is carrying behind them all sorts of trinkets and buckets and carts that just seem to go for almost 50 or 60 feet behind him, carrying a caravan of goods. And he comes up, and he is a trader, and he has been roaming the planet and collecting goods of values, and has come to this community to see if any trading is necessary or if anything is needed.
And he says, "What are you buying?"
What are you buying? Khajiit has the...
Hello, stranger.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
So yes.
Where were we?
So yep. That's it. So I will draw
Trader.
that. Cool. And discover something or lead a discussion. Or start it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start a project,
Town
and
meeting.
this project is to
Rob this guy of everything he has.
no, it's to go through and see what this guy has and what he can trade for, so that we can make better, build a second half as high bunk or right next to it, hut next to it that's half the height, so we can
Oh.
have better sleeping arrangements. And I think, I mean, that's a pretty big project, so I guess that will take 4 weeks, maybe.
But it's like that 4 weeks literally just to
Going
go through
the
his
guy's
stuff.
shit. Yeah. I'm kidding. It's like he comes into town and she's like, "Hold on, we got a project to you, buddy."
No, 4
You're
weeks
not
will
allowed to
be
leave.
4 weeks will be to kind of kind of go through and to build.
Actually build the things.
Yeah, using the stuff that he has and the technology to first remove part of the other building and then make it a second
Sure.
building as well.
Hey,
to
buddy,
make
you
the
got
hut.
any cranes?
got-
How about such as a winch?
He's got some cool. Yeah, I'll say he's got some cool. Construction stuff that he's got, like little magnetic construction things.
A surprising
Boy,
amount of
grab
quality
all
It's
grills.
construction equipment.
Yep. So then I will do. Text. Okay, and that's ends my turn.
Nice.
Where did you where are you denoting your
I'm
Your
doing
numbers
right
here.
now.
Oh, okay, cool. Put like a ×2 next to the next to the bunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I'll do my stuff while it's the next person's turn. so
Parenthetical 4.
4.
Gotcha. All right,
Spring
that takes us
draw.
to Jesse.
Spring, right?
Yes.
Oh god. There's a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? There's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned? I could straight
Oh my
up
gosh.
answer both of these questions.
Sure.
Um,
Which one do you want to?
I think I'm going to talk about the lake because, I've studied a bit of limnology myself, and I know a little bit about lakes. And a lake of this perfect a structure could only have been burned there.
Whoa.
It has to have been burned in there by a celestial body that probably didn't happen all that long ago. Because, like, a lot of these times you see these giant things and you're like, oh, it happened, like, about a bajillion years ago. No, this kind of celestial body burn leaves the lake full, like, pretty much instantly. So it can happen in a matter of, like, a couple, like, maybe, like, 10 years.
Nice.
It makes the water taste really,
Watery.
it kind of tastes
It's like
like
extra
cilantro.
watery.
Tastes like cilantro.
That's
so?
funny.
Yeah, some people taste it, some people don't.
This water's nasty. I'm gonna go drink the Fartonium.
This shit's delicious. What are you talking about?
This stuff tastes like soap.
Put some in this spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Now it's
Italian.
ruined. Now it's ruined.
So I can start a project or start a discussion, right?
Or discover something.
Or discover something new.
Or discover something. I want to start a discussion because I think the trader and the chicks trying to lead an expedition are in cahoots and they're trying to rob our town.
Oh, okay.
Reminds me that ticks down.
So that's your.
And the way I'm going to start this discussion is by just posting up signs anonymously around town until a town meeting's called about it.
Okay, so is it you have to start with either a statement or a question?
And by
though.
that I mean the door of our hut.
So I think that's the statement.
How do we know that conniving traitor and that I don't want to be disrespectful, that other person that showed up aren't working together to steal our things? That's a terrible accusation.
No, she went off to the north. This guy came from the south. That's how you can tell. They're different. Probably never even met unless they both went the whole way around the dang planet.
I think they're in cahoots.
I don't know. See, the trader happens to be a Kathuk, and they're pretty blunt and open and honest. So I mean, if he was up to something, he would have already done it. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Unless she's a Kathuk also, which we did not establish, but.
You mean that Kathuk he's been trading with?
There's my drawing of a Kathuk.
That's a great drawing.
It's beautiful.
He's like, look at my stuff.
Man.
Look at my stuff.
I bring you things. Awesome. Well, it sounds like the consensus has not been reached on that particular issue, but it can always be the subject of another discussion later.
It's
Jesso gets final word, right?
Yeah, and I agree with everything Ivan said. I'm also going to add in there that there's some unrest. There's the people that believe that they're working together. They don't want to just be like, oh, I guess everybody voted on it and it's cool. They're like, nah, this motherfucker's up to something. We're not going to let that shit happen.
You should have discovered some evidence.
Oh! No, I'll let them know.
Maybe next turn.
Maybe next turn. All right, so that's.
How about that lake, though?
I do like
How
that lake.
about it? Why do you keep doing this? Okay, there it is. All right.
Solid.
Next is me, right?
Yep. So we turn down the dice, right?
Light the candles.
Once everybody goes, that's one dice turn, right? So now I'm down to 3 weeks.
Yep. No, it should tick down once every turn. I didn't do mine on the first one.
I thought it ticked down once on your turn.
right.
No, it's once every it's once anyone goes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's what I remember.
Because
from last
otherwise
time.
we'd be
that's
here
right.
forever, I think.
Got it.
Each
All
turn
right.
is a week.
All right. So I'm gonna draw a spring card. I got the 4 of hearts. Whoops. Keep clicking off my shit. What important and basic tools does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things? What important and basic tools does the community lack?
Shoehorn.
Mechanisms which this guy is suddenly selling.
I was gonna say,
Beds.
like hand tools, because like without the presence of the industrial galactic society, I don't imagine there's a lot of DIYers in this sci-fi future. So maybe this bunk building undertaking has proven to be a bit more of a trial than initially expected, because you can't cut wood without a saw, and if no one has any saws, what are you gonna do? You gotta spend some time making a makeshift one from junk merchants' junk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah,
that's
I'll
a
write
It's not
new-
going to be a
down,
flashlight, then. It's
So now that's
hand
that's a new
tool
so that's a
scarcity.
new resource scarcity. Nice.
I don't know if that'll actually. I mean, I guess we can just kind of keep that in mind as flavor, essentially. Let's see. What are my other options here? Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. Let's. We'll say that in her travels, the charismatic Kithuk girl has not yet found the mother lode, but has found a temple.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That, while not made of fartonium, seems to have a lot of fartonium-based iconography and maybe hints that the fartonium can be used for something beyond. What did we say it was actually used for? Smelling bad?
We didn't say what it was used for.
No, I don't think it has a purpose designated yet.
Well, then maybe it can. Maybe
Like a
that's.
project in the future, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
discussion.
It suggests that the abundance of fartonium might be useful for more than stink bomb pranks, which is what it had been used for until now. It used to be
Originally,
before
the entire
before they realized how toxic it was. Kids would go out into the mountains and just chip off little chunks of fartonium and then take the pebbles to school and throw them at each other and make everything stink real bad.
and it was the galaxy's entire largest supplier of stink bomb items.
Maybe is the planet just called Fartonium? Fartonia?
Fartonia? Fartera.
Bardonia.
Fartonia?
Terra Ferta.
Fartera.
Ferta.
That's what I'm calling the planet. Fartania.
Fritonia. Yeah, I like it.
Because it just literally says fart on ya.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, great.
There's one fart coming out of the gorilla butt. I do like that.
The dice tell their own story, man. And yeah, let me write this in my notes. Fartonium temple discovered. And yeah, that's my turn.
So, did you draw it on the map and I'm just not seeing it?
It's this
It's in
up
the
here.
island. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yep, okay. There we go. So, is that me?
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Springs. Okay,
where'd it
what
go?
happened?
Whoops.
I drew my card and then I deleted it. So, just
Just
draw
draw
another
another
one.
one. Yeah, go for it.
Fate changing. Fate changing.
It says error trying to draw from a deck with no more cards.
Whoa.
Oh, that must have been.
That was the last one.
So that must have been the ace. So we can just go to the.
Wait, there's 12 cards.
There should be
But the-
13 cards.
13.
But the deck dies when the ace is drawn.
That's
Oh,
only that's
okay.
only the final.
But
I thought that was the only final deck.
that was
maybe.
But there was a card on my screen, and I drew a line accidentally trying to move it, and then I deleted the card by accident. So
Damn.
Let's see what click and shuffle does. Will it redraw? Will it draw all those? Okay, hit it again.
Hey.
There you go.
because I can't see this card unless I drag
Click
it
on
all.
it again.
Just click on it. Yeah.
This.
Oh. Are there any children in the community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Or how old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have?
Low beds.
Moira, rub my bunions.
So, how old are the eldest members? There are actually a lot of elder. There's probably more elder than children in this community because most of the youth fled when they could. A lot of them abandoning parents or just elders that didn't have kids. And what special needs do they have is they want to be on the low beds, but they don't always get to be.
These goddamn beds.
Bariatric uprising.
Yeah.
Now we want to go lower.
Not uprising, low downing. Or down lowing, however you say it. Grandpa, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
I want to be down low.
So what are my options now? Start a project, have a discussion, or discover something?
Yep.
Keep in mind, my project has ended, so.
Oh, snap.
So if you want to
more beds.
piggyback something like that on my project, I'm more than happy to let that happen, so we can. Since it does sound like, but if you want to start your own or do anything else, you're completely. Just keep in mind that my project's gonna be over, so that way, if your project has, because I'm supposed to actually say what happened with my project before or after his turn.
Okay, so
Probably after.
Okay.
my project is, like I said, it's mostly elderly people. My project is for people to make some younger people.
Oh no.
And apparently
people.
this species has a 6-week gestation cycle. So
Oh, wonderful.
yeah,
Oh, nice. So we're talking about we could have some of them be whatchamacallit.
This is about
I
to
would
get
say that
gross.
it's as soon as the older people get moved into your new hut, Ari, the younger people start making newer people.
Got it. And
The
how long
older
is
people
that going
also
to take?
start making newer people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 6 week type of thing of like there's going to be
So
a whole.
this is a project you have?
Yeah, it's a new project is to make more people.
Breeding.
So we might want to just establish some rough population numbers and then
And then
see where
double
they
it.
end up.
Like in the hundreds, right? At least.
Yeah, I'd say in the hundreds. Maybe like a 250, 300
We're like a
for.
solid couple of Squid Games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couple few hundred. Sounds right.
Um,
What
but,
if it's what if it's not a concerted effort, but just a sort of an unanticipated baby boom among
That's-
the
that's-
faster breeding?
yeah, that was the intent. Was just kind
Okay,
of like,
cool.
yeah, like it's not just like this is not a project where
which
it's
will
like,
which will then necessitate more bunks.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say this is not a project of like lay back and think of England. This is just a like, hey, suddenly it's a lot quieter in here and we have some privacy.
Occasionally,
Yeah.
now that we've exiled Grandma to the second bunk tower.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well,
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate illustration.
nice. Another heart there. That's a good idea.
Thanks.
All right. Cool. So
Let me tell you. So this project went really well, with the help of the trader trading off Fartonium that we have in abundance. He was able to make an interesting collection and sell some really cool tools to make it happen, and we got it done in record time. And so there is now a much more. It's a smaller kind of house, but it's wider, so there's less up and down. There's still bunk beds, but instead of being hundreds up, it's like now like a dozen tall. And this is for the elderly people to escape to.
Great.
And yeah.
my project also hit 0 this turn. I'm gonna say that the Kithuk girl did not find the motherlode. She found abundant veins of Fartonium on every landmass that her and her party explored, but nothing that would be of any particular noteworthiness aside from the temple, which I'm going to say she begins studying obsessively, abandoning her pursuit of the Fartonium motherlode.
Oh shit.
Oh, she's serious.
He means it. All right.
Do her
so
follow like by herself, or do people stay with her?
she probably has like an inner circle of faithful co-adventurers.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the tale of the search for the motherlode. And that, I believe, is Ari's turn to draw, correct?
Sure, I will do that.
Also, I wanted to ask if anyone has any hard exit times this evening. Because I've got to grab a beer and do the opposite of grab a beer, which is take a pee.
I don't have a hard out time tonight. I mean, I was figuring 11 o'clock is...
I
Sorry.
can probably do like 10:45 at latest.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
I
wanna
think
take a
10:45
5?
should be good.
Let's
We
do a
run
fiver
10:45?
then, if we can go to 10:45.
Yeah,
I
let's
should have
do
said
that.
something at 10, but
Yeah,
Good.
But we're having fun. Making
Having a
fart jokes.
blast. Making fart joke after fart joke. We should have called this the silent but deadly year.
Hey.
Oh my
All
god!
right, let's go to break on a high note.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right,
I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
all right.
Let rain. You'll attend and say the world is dry. Chocolate rain. Zoom the camera out and see the light. Chocolate rain. Forecast to be falling yesterday. Chocolate rain. Only in the past is what they say. Chocolate rain. With your neighborhood insurance rate. Chocolate rain. Makes us happy living in a gay. Chocolate rain. Made me cross the street the other day. Chocolate rain. Made you turn your head the other way. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain. Seldom mentioned on the radio. Chocolate rain. It's the fear your leaders car control. Chocolate rain. Worse than swearing, worse than calling names. Chocolate rain. Say it publicly and you're insane. Chocolate rain. No one wants to hear about it now. Chocolate rain. Which real hard it goes away somehow. Chocolate rain. Makes the best of friends begin to fight. Chocolate rain. But did they know each other in the light? Chocolate rain. Every February washed away. Chocolate rain. Stays behind his colors, celebrate. Chocolate rain. The same crime has a higher price to pay. Chocolate rain. The judge and jury swear it's not the face. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain. Dirty secrets of economy. Chocolate rain. Turns that body into GDP. Chocolate rain. The Belkin blames the baby's DNA. Chocolate rain. But test scores are how much the parents make. Chocolate rain. Flipping cars in France the other night. Chocolate rain. Cleans the sewers out beneath Mumbai. Chocolate rain. Across the world and back, it's all the same. Chocolate rain. Angels cry and shake their heads in shame. Chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain.
The #1 summertime classic.
No, the number one classic is.
Something's going on. Can I smell your dick?
Our friend Emily, who used to live on Madison in Delaware, me and Jesse used to live, was obsessed with that song. She played it so many times. Like, probably like, if you saw Emily, 80% chance that she would put that song on before you were not hanging out with her again. I think it was her ringtone for a while. It was a problem. She would just be standing around and she'd be like, "Can I smell yo dick?"
Yikes!
Very, very funny. Super yikes.
She is when she forces.
Yo.
Yo,
What?
missed your favorite song.
Oh, was it Paul Wall? What was it?
Your other favorite song.
Oh God.
In chocolate rain. Which part do you think you're living in? Chocolate rain. More than marching, more than passing law. Chocolate rain. Remake how we got to where we are. Chocolate rain.
Is it all improvised, or is it the same lyrics every time he performs this hit?
I have no idea.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I figured Jesse would know.
No, I just like watch the video over and over again to like learn some of the lines, so I could be like, I know more lines than most people. This is like not like I was like I need to know more lines than people, but like so I like here's this stupid thing I can do. It was more like my mindset.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to have talents.
Sure, I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm impressed every time you recite as much of Chocolate Rain as you can.
Rain.
Body drops becomes the GDP. What the fuck? Some of the lines are just so weird.
Some of the lines are super weird. I forgot about the GDP line. That was one of my favorites. Turns your body into GDP. That's the line.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Such a great line.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Hey,
Hello, motherfucker.
Oh, that is offensive. Tommy says he will not be joining us.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
poor dude's just getting home right now.
Oh, now I feel
Yeah,
bad for him.
That's rough.
Shall we
rest up, young
continue?
Tom.
well, he won't have to witness the destruction of this poor society we're creating.
Oh hell.
Yeah, let's continue. Is it? It's my move, yeah.
It's my turn, I believe.
Oh, it's your draw.
Yes, I think it's
I
already.
believe
Yeah, you-
so.
Just kidding.
Easy, cabrón.
Easy mine. Okay, where is this? It is. Alright,
Right, I did this.
springtime. And click. And big. There's a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Alarming weather patterns destroy something. How
Ooh.
and what? Okay, I'm going to say that alarming weather has destroyed something. However, it's to the south. There's been strange weather patterns, and plasma storms have begun
Shit.
erupting and causing really volatile conditions in the area to the south.
And we hate it.
And I get to discover something, have a conversation.
Where in the south?
I'm drawing it right now.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's close to the it's by the the town. So it's not terribly far from where we are. I'm gonna say
That's
it's
the
like
that's the north.
North.
King of the North.
I'd call it the East.
Yeah, I didn't want to put it directly south because I didn't want to cover everything up, but yep, this is where it's taking place.
All right.
Dude.
and I get to discover something, have a conversation, or start a project. All right. I want to. Um, well, I think I want to start a project as the storms begin. There was a group that still was very interested in. There was a scavenging crew that would go into the city every once in a while, and so I think we the project is to go into the scavenging group to go into town and see what the situation is with this plasma storm, and see if it's local or if it's something created or if it's because of just natural circumstance. I think that's about I'll say a 3-week project of
What does
going.
what does the plasma storm destroy though?
Um, the plasma storm destroys the communications that we were using. So we had like antennas that we were kind of using, and the plasma storm wiped out the grid. So the project will be then to go back and establish if we can get that working again. That's what I'll do. That works even better. Nice.
Awesome.
And I think that's a 3-week project.
Sounds fine to me.
Yep. Cool. Next.
My turn.
Jesse, you're up.
Yep. Get rid of this one.
Also, Ari, I want to comment on. I love how much detail has now gone into the stuff that is being delivered via the train the cow is carrying.
Thanks.
A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Or an old man confesses a past crimes and the atrocities. What has he done?
I sold the merchant the stuff for the bunk beds.
I think that's actually exactly what he's going to say.
Is the whole town syphilis?
He's going.
Especially your grandma's.
He's going to say he hid it down in the coal mines that are to the northwest. The supplies.
Oh, he stole the supplies?
No, that's where he hid the supplies. Like this is a relatively small town. He couldn't just like hide them here.
So like he was, yeah. So like, so maybe he had been like working like a smuggling operation with this merchant before the planet became like abandoned-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's like come back, he's like, remember these stores of materials? And he's like, yeah, just let me pretend to sell them to these guys.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But so when there was conspiracies being driven up about him and the exploring person, he came out very hard saying that they were definitely conspiring, and has since completely switched his tone on that. But there's people from the other side now that think that this is just a false flag event. So they're not quite believing it. Yeah. And then this is going to lead to another discussion. And it's going to lead with, I think the temple and the... What's the chemical called?
Fartonium.
I think the temple and the fartonium are turning the frogs gay.
Indeed, the frogs were kissing.
I think the old man's just senile. He's mad that he has such a high up bunk tonight. He just wants some attention or something. Who knows? His kids probably abandoned him.
Well, I mean, Vartonium is used as a party drug on many planets. That's so it is possible that technically it might make them bi-curious.
You're telling me that the fartonium works like poppers? We gotta get to mining.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is. Oh my gosh, Fartonium is totally fucking poppers. Oh my gosh, we live on a fucking drug planet.
So, I have 2 pet frogs, and they started doing it. I don't know what. I think they were both males, but I don't really know. So I just want to say that my frogs are doing it.
I led with the
So-
statement, so
Yeah. All right. Well, that settles that.
I think we discovered the real use for Fartonium now.
Amazing.
oh man,
Let's add that
that
to the
turned out
notes.
way better than I'd hoped.
Fartonium.
Okay, who's next?
I think that's back. Is that Ivan or Paul?
I
I believe that's me.
Yeah.
This time it's actually my turn.
Whoop whoop.
All right. Spring, 7 of Hearts. Oh, we had this one. It's where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement? Why? What natural
Yeah.
predators? So that must have got shuffled back in.
Unless you want to
so
run natural predators.
So there should be 13 total spring cards. Like this is our 4th round, so we should be.
definitely more than that.
Yeah, this is about our
Well-
4th round, I think.
4th,
We
like
should-
full rotation.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. Yeah, round.
gotcha.
Like so.
Gotcha.
So we probably, yeah, you're right, Paul. We'll probably
All right,
wrap
so
them up.
I'll do another one. It's the ace.
There you
What
go.
group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there
Ooh.
distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common?
Oh shit.
I'd love to hear about this.
I think, well, since we solved the status of the higher and lower bunks already, I think I'm going to go with the family units. But it's since it's so many like elderly that have been abandoned. Excuse me. They don't organize into like families as much as they organize into like I don't know what you'd call it. Sort of like I'm imagining like the like kung fu dojo setup, like you know, like a
stable?
group of attentive young people who sort of take up you know the teachings of these elderly as they shepherd them up and down from the top bunks when they get bad sleep assignments.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's
So
I think that becomes the distinct family unit.
So like,
pretty cool.
Maybe they're organized by bunk stacks.
so like caregivers kind of
Yeah,
thing?
like caregivers, attendants, just like, and like even to like chroniclers, you know, like there's probably some young nerd who was like, we can't just abandon our elderly, we gotta like learn from them. So like maybe maybe it becomes like a custom to like write down their stories and stuff, study
So-
them, and like
Like a guardian
get
angel
lessons
types.
from them. Yeah.
In my like okay, they draw numbers every night. Is there some kind of class system within the numbers? Like the little kids are always at the top, or like
Oh, maybe that's also how it. So I was waiting for an opportunity to set up like a sort of a black market for the lottery, where
Well,
people
that's always gonna
illicitly
exist, but
trade their sleep assignments.
Right.
But I think if it becomes part of the family unit, maybe the very youngest, even though they still draw for the lottery, it's like it becomes customary for them to give the good sleep assignment to the elder.
Okay, that
So
makes
then,
sense.
like, you get like gangs of feral kids up in the rafters.
Right.
Fucking
God
Peter
damn it!
Pan.
It's 3 a.m. Shut the fuck up.
Conch shells everywhere.
Gang-a-lang!
All right, so the bunk stacks begin to form dojos around their elder members. That's how I'm going to add this to the notes.
Nice.
Okay.
And give them the good sleep assignments.
The
Nice.
good sleep assignment.
So you drew the ace, which, again, I think that's got to be the last. We were at 13 based on my math.
We'll see on the next draw, I guess.
But should I?
It'll
Just
either
draw
be a
from
duplicate or it'll be the last one.
Someone new arrives who
Yep,
to the
we did that
community?
one.
So
We did that one.
duplicate. I'll just drag that over.
Doop.
And one more.
There's another community somewhere on the map. What are they? What sets them apart from you?
That's new.
Hey, hold on. Before we move
shit.
on, Ivan, did you do a?
Oh, I did not.
Oh,
I did
oh,
not do my
sorry.
action.
And then also so after that, my project's finished. So
Awesome.
Oh,
So-
snap.
yeah, do your thing.
Let's see. I will discover something new, and again, it's going to be related to the Fartonium Temple.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a network of tunnels that seems to run for miles in many directions, as though the Fartonium in this area had already been mined.
Mm,
So I'm going to draw some veins, and they go out even into the ocean.
nice.
Whoa.
Who knows what their purpose was?
Creepy.
And so my project hits 0, and the team comes back hurried and scared with less numbers. And it turns out that they've discovered that a group of off-worlders that go to planet scavenging the remains has landed on this world, and the plasma storm was caused by their ineptitude, and they had caused an explosion at a plant leaking plasma into the atmosphere. And now, when they went into town, they were confronted by these people, and some of them made it out. Most of them made it out, but a couple were killed in the escape.
Dang.
Bunch of jerks.
What? Bunch of jerks.
Where are they on the map? Are they just even closer to the city?
No, they're in the city. They're
Okay.
like they've been scavenging in the city, and so they've been like I'm drawing them now in different colors. Yeah, there they are. So yeah, they're scavenging in the city for plasma.
Mm.
Nice.
And now
All right. Discussion, discovery, or project?
Just my project being finished. Now it's Paul's turn.
Oh,
Okay.
hard to keep track of. My bad.
Oh, groovy.
There's another community on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart?
That's what
or
we just played, right?
no, I just read that, but we realized that the previous turn after actions had not been taken, or just the project's been finished, so you got to do that first. Or what
Got it,
belief?
right. We just said that. Right. It's the resolution. Sorry.
Yeah. Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say there is another community. It is very small, but it is actively trying to keep us out of this Fartonium temple.
All right.
I mean, you've been doing this so far with like out running into them, so they're not a big community. They
So is
live
this the
in
same community that was trying to say that the traitor and the discoverer and now like basically sycophant of the temple were together? Is it all the same?
No, because this is a small community that lives in the tunnels and these little red circles underneath the Fartonium Temple. So
Fartlocks.
they somehow
Huh.
like are connected, though they don't seem to be connected on the map. They have a like this is a community, despite living in very distant temple tunnels.
Okay.
There we go. Some little highways here.
Lizard people
Oh.
underground.
Yeah, seriously.
And then discussion I'm gonna have is man, that's a lot of beds those old people aren't using, isn't it? Isn't it nice to be low to the ground and there's all those beds over there? Hey, 12th story people, question?
What are you trying to say, dude? We're having a serious town meeting here.
That's my question is, doesn't that look like a lot of nice beds those old people aren't using?
So are you trying to say that we should take them or what? Because like that's what it sounded like. Just want to clarify your statement and or your question.
But I'm just gonna say that's my question. I'm gonna leave it as an ambiguous question that I can't clarify, right?
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not. Ari, I've always said I'm not very good at yes-anding, so.
You're doing great.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You're good, man.
It's fine that you leave this ambiguous in this particular case.
My discussion contribution is just going to be the chittering and howling of dozens of feral children from high amongst the bunks.
And mine could be
Spitball.
Yeah, they do have a lot of beds. That's it. Yeah, well. I wish there were more people that could come over and share these beds with us. It's so lonely over here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what a nightmare we've created.
Really?
I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, that's
Okay.
beautiful.
It's
It's a
beautiful.
beautiful scene you created, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So, I mean, this is really good timing as we head into autumn, right?
Summer.
Will be
Smile.
summer. I mean, sorry. But it is.
What happens if you click on the spring deck? You get a duplicate?
Oh no, never mind. There's still more.
But
It's not my
probably what
turn,
we've had
though.
before, right?
No, it's not.
Nope.
It's you see a good omen. What is it? Or you see a bad omen. What is it? But it's not my turn, though, is
Ooh,
it?
Well, it's my turn, so I'll take it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We see a good omen. We see a bad omen. I think can I do the thing everybody hates and play the middle ground and say some see
Nope.
it as a bad omen and some see it as a good omen?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, you could
So
say it
the
as
whole community interprets this omen the same way?
No middle sliders.
well. No, not necessarily that there, but overall,
Yeah, the majority of them.
in your point of view, it is a bad and or a good omen. If people decide to see it differently, that's on them. But in your point of view, good or bad?
Bad omen. The temple, like the main structure of the temple that is very symbolic, maybe the little sphere on top, cracks. Big ass cracks.
Shit.
The Fartonium Temple?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The Party Drug Temple, Studio 54.
Is there a loud noise when it happens?
Is it like a little bit of a...
Just a squeaker, huh?
Mm-hmm. Just squeaks on out. Yep.
This huge, like 200-meter tall rock crab. Like,
This little boop.
Exactly.
And this is interpreted as a bad omen, correct?
Yes, except for by those that. What I was going to say is, except for by those that are the conspiracy theorists that thought that the traitor and the woman were doing a thing together,
Gotcha.
who also believe that the temple was a bad thing, so they see this as a good sign because they don't like the temple. This is a narrative I'm creating in my head that's not at all
I like
That sounds
in a
great.
specific direction.
Makes perfect sense. All right. Cool bad omen.
Thanks.
Discussion, project, or discovery.
Jesus. I think I'm gonna start. I said bad omen, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a project to repair it.
Awesome.
It's gonna take. Oh God. It's gonna take at least a month of farts. I think maybe 2.
4.
Weeks.
4 weeks. Yeah, let's do 4. No.
Oh my god.
It's not long enough, is it?
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
With the abundance of the fartonium and the fact that the fartonium is what the temple's made out of, you should be able to just like dig some up, make some fartonium clay out of it, and slap it into the crack.
Okay, perfect.
Yo.
Okay. So we're gonna do a little 4. Okay, cool. That would be the end of my turn. I'm gonna do a little 4 right here.
Paul, I don't think you've been taking down your babies either.
I think I'm at actually 3. I meant
Okay.
to be doing that. I ticked it down 1, but so it was. Yeah. I think 3.
I just realized I just saw that there was a 5 up there still. Cool.
Well, with that, it is 10:45 on the nose, which
Sure.
I think is about the time that we said we were going to quit.
Yep, that sounds good.
So, cool. So,
All right. Well, we've made another insane map,
Yeah.
and
With an
we've created
insane
a 100% canonical to our main Burn Bright plot rather called Planet Fartonia.
and if you don't think that the party drug Fartonium is going to take place, you're fucking wild.
Holy shit.
It's the hot new heat. It's that
is
New
the-
Jack City.
It's the proto gels.
Yeah, exactly. It's the precursor. It's the precursor to gel.
Mm-hmm. Fartonium is to gel as Sudafed is to meth.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Well,
Amazing. Well, another great game, fellas.
mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I hope I can figure out how to get this to go onto YouTube easily. I think I will. I bet you any money I'm still
can do it
probably
direct.
logged in.
You can do it directly from there. If you know how.
Yeah, I can either log in to How to Kick Flip a Horse on Twitch, or I can use my whatever the fuck Twitch Studio client. That just has like a list of the pending videos, which I imagine will probably be none because it's been so long.
Yeah. Well, with that, I'd like
I'll
to
figure it
say
out.
peace out. Thanks to everybody for coming to check us out. And we will be back next Thursday with Burn Bright, hopefully, as we continue the Burn Bright saga.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
And then the
Or-
next week we'll do something else. Maybe
Hell
we'll
yes.
maybe we'll figure out what we do without when Paul's not here.
No, I'm here next week.
next week. I meant.
Whoa.
Next week. I'm here both the 2
Oh.
next weeks.
I thought next week you were gone.
Burn
No, no, no.
bright. Burn bright. Burn bright.
Yeah,
Burn bright. Burn bright.
This was the
Burn
month
bright.
of
Close
bright,
to the end.
burn.
this was the
So
month of Burn
perfect.
Bright. If like everyone was here, this was it for me. Like for like compared to what everything has been.
Right.
Okay, but did you hear us chant burn bright?
Burn
Yes.
bright.
Burn bright. Burn bright.
Burn bright. Burn bright.
Is that Paul Wall
right.
chanting "Burn Bright"?
It sure
Awesome.
is. Burn right, Paul Wall. All right, y'all. Much love, and I do have the song "Killer" queued up, but thanks to DJ Yev. Is he still going by Yev? What's his?
Yeva.
Yeva.
AYEVA.
He just
And,
posted some new stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
He's
he
actually
did.
working on a bunch of stuff. We're in talks about maybe some second round, some Wheel Space Sally's height.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Season 2 updated theme song.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy.
I'm very
Awesome.
excited. We are in the twilight season of this very long season of Burn Bright, but we are now seeing the end, and I really look forward to finishing it up. So check it out if you haven't had a chance. Go to our YouTube that has our stuff up now. I think I've still got some stuff to send you, Ivan. By the way, but
Oh, sick.
Yep.
I reckon in our Twitch bio, the YouTube link there, which is for some reason not a hyperlink, is the accurate one. There's now 2 How to Kickflip a Horse YouTubes. One of them only has the first 2 episodes. One of them has almost all of our previous 30 odd episodes.
nice.
Yeah. So go check those out. You can find us on Instagram too, at How to Kick a Horse.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's it.
All right, take us out. Peace.
Take me home, Fartonium Road, West
To the
Virginia. Fart on me. Cut the stream now, so I can stop doing this.
no, keep going. Keep going.
Fartonium.
Take me home.